asking, what do you mean by that? Well, yes. Recently, this can, whether we like it or not, many people are interrogating distinctions. If you Let's start by saying that a lot of people have actually asked political parties in this country to their accounts known. I remember in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, Sarah continuously, filed suits against parties, whether it be the PDP, APC, asking them to make public their election accounts, their party accounts. And here we are again. INEC makes their account. In fact, we want to see a release of every single money that was put to use by INEC. And I always like people who know about these policy, people who are interested in pushing for democracy to be part of this kind of conversation. Wikina, he is of policy shapers. Yes, you see how I call people who like policies. He's a policy shaper. Wikina is the founder of Policy, and he's joining us via Zoom from Hackett. Good to have you join us. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Marianne.
Yeah.
So good to conversation.
I know that when I mentioned this, you were excited on it. This, I'm sure that because you've been having people at different forums, people come up with this idea that you need to know when INEC used for this election. They will have spent. They have very little, so people are wanting to know exactly where the money went. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, thanks so much. I think that the issue of accountability actually goes into I think that finance obviously is the big. That's the biggest question, because with a budget of close to 300 billion, I mean, expect that everything be hitched, right? But I think that's just accountability in an entire process. We've had elections over 4 decades. And we've basically accept the mistakes of elections in subsequent elections over and over again, because we've not taken time to monitor and evaluate our processes. So I think INEC is, at a very important stage in its development, because the comment and everything that follows elections, the presidential election and other off-cycle elections, there needs to be reports. There needs to be a comprehensive report of everything that happened beyond even just finances. Process were used. How is it different from the previous elections? How was the electoral acts implemented? What areas could not be implemented? What kind of support does it need for the next election? Just give a whole 360 view of the entire process, and ensuring that there's some, even the area that failed, and it needs to be actually honest enough to say we actually failed in this. We actually good, and then we failed here. Because it's only when we're honest with ourselves and we actually take time to evaluate ourselves that we'll stop being like, feels like a vicious cycle. Feels like the mistake of making over and over again. And also felt like with the BVAS and the Arab, most things were good change. I mean, I personally had some hope, in this particular electoral, like I was really happy that had the new electoral act. There's so much hope that there'll be integrity in the entire process. But you speak to most people, I'm sure like 9 out of people will tell you that it was the same thing all over. So beyond finances, I think it need to be beyond finances and like access in addition for sure.
I want you to just go back because you said it's not just about the finance. I will talk about the finance. But then if we are saying, well, let's look at the whole process. The question that's been asked is, who has the oversight function for INEC? But there are those who also question like that. Some of these people who have failed the assembly didn't get there the right way. Why would they want to cut off the nose by face? So again, where does the interest of the general public come in? Because all this has politics written over it.
No. I mean, this is an Nigerian existential question, because I mean, it's like how you get people representatives to represent people, right? I mean, the National Assembly is the voice of people, and the members of the National Assembly, I mean, the legislative agenda was used recently. I haven't been able to get my hand up yet, but I think that they really have an up, because the interest in this current electoral cycle, and it's already enough, right? People are already losing, and I think that the National Assembly has a huge to show that they want to difference. I think that nothing more difference. There's a huge hunger. Let's show some different, do something different. And I think that the national has a huge opportunity. I think if we have in this particular we do have kind of young people about that is for 40s, and I think these have a role to play in really most asking, debating, ensuring they ask for right thing done. And I think that someone should actually raise and actually do a thorough process. And if anybody cares about the country and the country's democracy, I think that should not be a no-brainer. I don't think we should easily just think of. So it's I think it's especially the National Assembly just in this, but in every way, you think of the people as the party, and because people make up without people, you don't have a country. So I think that if they use this kind of lens in everything, not just in election, even in budgets. For example, the budget for next year, how much is it healthcare? I mean, the supplementary budget is 0 allocation to healthcare. So if we think of people first, you need someone to advise you on what to do. Think of how it helps people and how it like that. And I think that's what National Assembly should be thinking about of this INEC process.
I'm not necessarily using your word against you, but I can't say this is what they should do. They should prioritize. They should be number one in the different things. Let me paint a picture. How does send to people's accounts prioritize our situation, knowing that our inflation is all-time high? I mean, over a decade loss. How does taking receipt of SUVs that cost more than 200 million show that we're being prioritized? How does, again, you talk about the third parties of those people. They're also part of the people who took receipt of those cars. So really, is there room for, or are we believing sets of people?
I mean, I feel like this was such a terrible way to start. To be honest, I was very disappointed to see most of the allocations. I need to know as best, some people next. I think I don't know if any of them are listening, but like we can't continue to do the same way. And I actually share in this current of general public. People feel that we're not seeing the sign that we want. We want to see people that they are willing to. If you're asking Nigerians, the president is asking the general public to sacrifice, say take cuts, fathers go through painful time, but our budgets, the president's accounts are not reflecting those sacrifices. And they actually need to do this if we're going to come out of the region we are in our economy and even show like moral shape. I think that they actually need to think and do things differently. Like, not that yet. I think it's a chance to them to do it. Like, we're not saying that. What exactly do we vote for? Why are you there? You're there to get car and get money for. You're actually there to set the they'll be able to see things differently and begin making money because Nigerians think very urgently.
Let's go back to INEC and the budget for running election. In fact, it has that many times Nigeria has mostly the conservative democracy, if you ask me, seconded by Kenya and the rest of them. And many people are asking why we have so many of the president at the time did come out to say he was going to slash his income by half. He and vice president did they, the members of the National Assembly did not again. But if that was first, and those next so if from you have been talking about today, it looks like there's really no way we can address this issue, or they can address the issue. What do we do as people? What do we do?
I think then it comes down to people, the power of people, right?
What is the power? What exactly in today's Nigeria? What exactly is the power?
I think in Nigeria, the power of the people will be to ensure that conversations and social pressure, is used to force the people, for government to listen to us and to do what we want them to do. We basically have really explored it as a nation generally. I mean, you can look at things like NAS and what was the young people. I think if the general public, I'm talking young, old people, basically every person who basically is of the burden of the country, all this, it doesn't get everybody together to get people out on the strike or call their representatives. It gets people people.
They're known for protests. We know them. We see how the full weight, when we says the full weight, we see it every time. It looks like people want to protest. We see some sort of sledgehammer being used. I've seen it with the ancestors. Then many people would say, well, when it was Occupy Now, nobody put a sledgehammer to the fight. People would love to. And it looks more and more that people let's leave government out it. Let me ask you a question. Does the average Nigerian want to be a hero, or they're looking for a hero?
I think I'm looking for a hero. I think maybe, especially for the younger generation, because of part of insight, and people who might have TSD from their home, it was really, really terrible. All the experience people had, you just come out of them. I don't think it's set that it's a legal congress, but we can talk about jobs. If we speak about business, each has if you want to easy to come down the sledgehammer because they kind of family members in the end. Because Katani also said that kids even join and SARS for protest there. I think the problem is how do we mobilize everyone under not a single person, but like most people from different groups and interests under a particular ask for accountability. I think that's where the problem is. It may not be about people said to you. I think Nigerians can be with many ways. People who look at that who her eye was, close to her eye was, and she came out. That's a typical Nigerian for you. People who can be persistent, right? I think we're looking now like because I think it's hard to bring everyone together. Society can find it to mobilize together and get to begin to ask the laws. It might not even get to it might just be people end that they're calling and blocking the gates and representatives of their elected officials and questions. It doesn't be homes where they're demanding you travel on a community constituency. They just be ensuring the ongoing conversation. The people who are wanting for when bills are out to react, when they have public hearing. There's so much everyone.
My goodness, we even to wait for those bills, and why can't we be the ones propose those bills? And lobbying some members raising us. We wait. It's the same that happens to political parties. We wait for political parties to throw up a candidate, then we decide. How about we also be part process? So, for example, policy shapers. Is it possible to raise a document, look for a certain member, that aligns with policy shaping, and then push this issue be revisited?
So this is exactly what we just had to do. So which was close to 400 young people across to just think about policy ideas. Right? So how can you solve it? How can the central program be designed where it's not a how can you ensure that for example can help you have ideas? How can you implement the acts? We have a situation where Nigeria is intending to act and it just gets done somewhere. It's not implementation. So we can think about so many things, and we engage members. We've had a couple of them shout already, and we want to see how we can even begin to highlight ways where ideas and thoughts that we have about the community, about country, can be passed through the people's channels. We are not how successful going to be because we're trying it out, but that by just creating an avenue for a random person to be able to talk to 100%, might not 20, but the channel of youth empowerment, development, for example, like what people are working with, just by creating that, we can give them a voice in parliament. The assembly has a huge thing to both influence policy and not influence policy, also implementation, right? Keeping that on the social balance. If we get more organizations to be able to work together, this we would be able to government delivering this policy ideas and policy.
Okay, just make it hard facts. It's A's and A's. They were talking about a probe. People call a probe into INEC's finance, and of course, general overview of how the electoral process went. And my guest is talking about policy shaping and maybe your costing from in that. Well, if you have questions, comments, want to join the conversation, I have 4 minutes before we go on our break. Join the conversation. Ebenezar Wikina is here with us via Zoom. 700 993 8 and what 45719, or you can send it on WhatsApp, and you can do that on the portal. Let me take this call. Hello, welcome to us.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
And good evening to you.
Yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you, Mr. Bully. Go ahead.
Okay. So my question is this: having said all what you have said, can we just put that hand and just do anything? As in, okay, you're pushing all this and all. What can we do? Honestly, if we can start playing them neck, because the end is not in the, we don't view them as an independent body. So what neck? We should hold them accountable. So how do we handle?
Thank you very much. We're going to take a walk quick on then, Ebenezar, I'll let you answer. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, this issue about NEC is very overdue. My take there is the people who are lawyers, what is called obtained under the test, that is 419. Who they could have versus Okon told us repeatedly. National Committee 118 times, 58 times. I from the what you call the give was setting for the federal election to come and tell us that they had a deal. And this certainly the Fed that is the is no more.
Okay, can you say a question in there quickly because I'm
so now is it not for 1 minute? Was when they told the IF and the readers one day at the end of the day we are hearing stories.
Okay.
Now what tell us what exactly we are doing. We just
All right.
walking on the street free.
I have just 1 minute, Ebenezar, if you can raise the clock. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, I think that citizens can start several petitions. You can start petitions, you can write to INEC, can read every social media, talk to society organizations to ensure that INEC actually is on the especially on the issue of reports. Imagine how we make that, as men have done, that dominate the conversation. I think we'll do so well in ensuring that INEC citizens, there's not social pressure to make them do the evaluation of the entire process. Because that was good in the future, them processes.
All right, ladies, when we come back from that break, Ebenezar Wikina is going to pay you weight, of course. If you have questions, you have comments, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. You also call Skype on the break. I want your thoughts and your comments on this push for into INEC finances and the conduct of elections so far. Don't forget, statistics show Nigeria is the most of the extent and one of the most governments. In other words, it's got more and more nations' finances that is depleted. Well, we'll talk about this and more when we come to break. It's still Hard Facts. My name is Mary Okon. We're back.
There's a reason why over 1 million people have we discussing their stories, suicide facts.
State High Court has with stories for the day.
You hear Ivor's voice in it. Wait,
Country Nigeria Info.
95.3
Nigeria Info.
shaping and the probe into INEC and the funds, the 300 plus billion that was set aside to conduct elections. Many are pushing for it, and my guest, Wikina, has said that, of course, more and more Nigerians need to take reins. In other words, lead the charge to make sure that this becomes a probe in itself on the National Assembly, because we do not expect that politicians will think of this. But the average person would think that, this should be a thought. Let me just quickly read message before we wrap this up. Someone says, can you ask your guests what the benefit is for Nigerians, that Nigerians are going to get from probing INEC? Is it not the presidency who's appointed them that will still appoint those who probe them? Or at worst, they will go to the same courts as the president? I beg, let's hear better news. Francis from Omole. Thank you. Someone says, our democracy has always been one systematic bribery. That's why the cost of governance is so high. The houses, the cars, and all else given to the public officials are a kind of bribe given to them upon assuming office, because that stops them from challenging the government when they go off course. My question is, what can we do to stop such gifts so there won't be any leverage for the government to play games with the lives of Nigerians? Ebenezar, you have just 30 seconds to respond to this as we wrap things up.
Yeah, no, I agree with the first listener who says that the press shouldn't be allowed to appoint these people, and I think I think it might be a much longer conversation around appointing them. But I think that if this is actually followed through and ensuring that the processes are followed correctly in probing and evaluating the process of elections, I think we can get to a particular result. On the second point of saying that we should cut away money, and I think that's why the issue you raised earlier, saying political parties should also be probed, their finances should also be open, because I think that the cost of elections also rises because of them. There's a lot that happens within their own space that rises the cost of elections. So I think that those two things actually need to happen for us to be able to bring down the cost of governance and the cost of elections.
Well, Ebenezar Wikina is the founder, Policy Shapers. Thank you so much, Ebenezar, for being on the show. We have to go, unfortunately, because time is not on our side. But thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Kemi is here with some information for us. Kemi, go ahead. Yes.